Welcome everybody to Go Local Live. It is Business Monday. We are in downtown Providence on beautiful Wade Bossett Street. The sun is shining. It almost wants to be spring. Can't quite decide. I'm Josh Fenton. This is Johnny Leva. He is the grand poobah, top dog, big boss over at Hiroka Construction. Startup in Providence in 2007. Now a growing player in the construction industry. Talk about the early days of starting the company.
Oof, the early days was tough. It was in 2007.
Good time to start a construction company, by the way. You timed that perfectly.
Yeah, it was the first year in business. We did about 70,000 in revenue, so it was a really, really tough year. But it's been picking up. We've been doing great ever since, and we're growing. We're excited where we're heading.
That's great. How many people are you up to now? You started with 0, other than yourself, 1.
Correct.
Okay, and what are you up to now?
So we're up to 18 right now.
That's great.
18, and I think we're going to be bringing in another 2 or 3 before the summer's here.
So you think about that, really there was 0 growth functionally between 2007 and 2010, 11, right? Minimal growth.
Very minimal.
Yeah, I mean, you're nearly in the greatest recession of all time, coupled with a morbid construction industry. Now, we go from, let's go 2011, we start picking up some pace, and by the time we're hitting 15, 16, 17, 18, some real growth's going on.
Correct.
How are you able, as an entrepreneur, we love entrepreneurs on this show, how are you able to handle the growth? Because growth is hard.
It's painful too. It costs a lot of money, resources, finding the right people. But I think it's also finding so far I found the right people that I needed. And, you know, I invested with technology. Technology has been very functional for me, been very good to me. And that's helped me grow. And
when you say technology, you're in the commercial painting industry.
Correct.
Are you talking about cost accounting, sort of back-end accounting software?
So estimating software, takeoff software to be able to figure out quantities, project management software, accounting software, so that kind of stuff, where it helps you project costs and find out, okay, in this project, how long is it going to take me? And then does it take me that long? That kind of software.
So, you know, anybody who's painted knows a couple of golden rules. It always takes twice as long as you expect it to do.
Correct.
Are you guys a little better on that over the years?
Yeah, great. I mean, some of the people we have, so when we started, some of the people we brought in have been with me for years. For years.
That's great. What's the biggest challenge? We were talking in the green room. I think both of us have experienced running businesses. You know, just finding great people to build your team. Is that the number? Is that really?
I think that's number one.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest issue I have is finding the right person, the right fit, that has the well-trained, ready to go. It's just not out there, especially in the construction industry. It's been very rough.
Which is harder in your industry? Do you need somebody who's skilled or somebody who you feel comfortable is going to be professional and that you can teach the skill to? Which is the
second one.
Yeah.
So the latter. I think if you have the right attitude, the right personality, if you could communicate, I'll work with you. We'll train you. And actually, I brought somebody in like that, and that's what we've been doing. So.
And are the trade schools helpful? Are they generating? Is the Davies? Are the others, or just they're not ready for prime time?
There's not enough.
Yeah, yeah.
So actually, I've been working with the Department of Labor to train, you know, students, and we're looking to do it in Central Falls right now. So we're working on a few things, but that's the biggest issues I have.
You're fast growing now. If you had an unlimited workforce that you felt comfortable with, that was going to be able to deliver at the quality that you demand, how much bigger could you be?
Twice.
Yeah.
Easy, no question, twice. Because you walk away from work. So
right.
I've had to work away from certain jobs just because I didn't have enough workers, and I didn't have, you know, office staff too, because it goes both ways.
Right.
So you need a good office staff and you need good field staff.
Johnny, where do you see the industry going right now? Where we've got projects going around the state. Some of them are high profile, but lots of your projects are not high profile. They're just good commercial work. that are taking place and companies that are expanding within their own footprint or building an addition on or whatever it might be. Talk a little bit about where you see the economy, the industry going right now.
I see only growth, to be honest with you. This year, it's going to be my best year in business. So I feel really good. I think we got some good clients, RISD, Brown, Johnson & Wales. We're meeting with Citizens Bank. So we got some big accounts that I think it's going to keep me growing.
Other than staffing, other challenges, getting paid? Is getting paid a big challenge right now? Yeah.
Yeah, it usually takes 60 to 90 days.
Yeah.
So that's a long process to wait for payments because you're paying weekly. So I pay weekly. So yeah, that hurts. But I have a
don't you love that? You're paying weekly. You're getting paid on 60 to 90, right? It's great for cash flow.
Right. It's really great for cash. But I've been able to work with Commerce.
Yeah.
And they've been helpful in the SBA. With the line of credit, a sizable line of credit that keeps me rolling as the cash comes in. So I've been able to work with that.
And, even if the Rhode Island economy, you guys can do work in Mass, correct?
Correct. So we do work in Mass, we do work in Connecticut, and now our growth opportunity, it's the federal government.
Yeah.
So that's where I really want to go after, that federal. There's a lot. I'm working right now at Hanscom Air Force Base in Massachusetts.
Great. Yeah.
And that's a federal job, and I got a feel for it. It was a sizable six-figure job, but small compared to what the federal spends. But I'm definitely looking into that market for growth potential.
That's great. You're at 18 now. With proper getting more trained folks on, 3 years, 5 years. How large can you get? And will it require you to open other business locations to be able to support if you start doing more work in Mass? So, of course, keeping your headquarters here in Rhode Island.
It's always going to be here.
Yeah,
so I don't think that's going to change.
We're hometown guys. We're total homers, right?
Yeah, no, we're committed to Rhode Island.
All right,
so we're definitely committed to Rhode Island. But
don't pull a fleet on us. Go all big time.
No. Okay. I'm committed to the state. I'm committed to the city. So where I see myself, it's opening a second office in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
I have meetings with Harvard University and Boston College and Boston. So there's opportunities elsewhere. But this is always going to be home, and this is where I was raised, where I'm from. So I see myself here long term.
Johnny, how did you work with Commerce? What brought you to them? What did they provide? What did they screw up? I always like when somebody, I don't get it often. What did they screw up along the way?
I mean, screw up, I don't know yet. They haven't screwed up.
They have not screwed up yet. Yet.
But they've done a phenomenal job. So I'm looking to work with the anchors from Supply Rhode Island.
Yeah.
And they got me meetings with Citizens Bank. They got me in the door with RISD, which I'm looking to work on my first project this summer.
That's great.
They got me meetings with Roger Williams. We're working on CVS next. So they've definitely been very helpful in getting me those meet and greets and those opportunities to meet with certain anchors to do work for them.
And it only makes sense, right? What would be better for the Rhode Island economy that when major employers who, in some cases are getting tax breaks, or in the case of Brown and RISD, they're nonprofits, they get a lot of benefit from being here in Rhode Island. If they can turn around and help fuel Rhode Island companies' growth, rather than going up to Boston and bringing in some firm to come down here, which only helps Boston even more so, they should be coming over to your spot.
In agreement.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm very grateful for that.
Great. One of the things that we've talked to a lot of entrepreneurs, if somebody's sitting at their computer, watching on their phone while they're, at Dunkin' Donuts, and they're like, God, I'm tired of working for the man. I want to start my own company. What's your advice to somebody? I mean, you took the leap in 2007. Maybe the worst time ever. So
the worst. So the main thing I think I took, I want people to understand it. You have to be passionate about it. You gotta remember, you're gonna work 90 day hours a week.
Wait. You're trying to tell me you work even into the past 5 o'clock?
Yeah.
You do? How about weekends? Have you ever worked on a weekend?
Even holidays. Let's put it that way. So outside of
if people
Christmas
only
and
knew how insane entrepreneurs are, and what
Yeah, it's
amount of
crazy.
time.
So,
Right.
so the only way you won't burn out, it's you honestly have to be passionate about it. You have to love what you do. You have to look at the finished product and be proud of what you and your team have done. Because if you don't have that passion, you're gonna burn out. Sometimes you go weeks and months without a paycheck too. You know, like we put it all out there, and yeah. So you have to love this and be passionate.
There is one other, and it took, you've got to get the right team, right? So
Huge.
hire fast, fire fast is an advice a lot in the technology world. I think it's good advice. You know, within a week or two, if somebody's a good match for you, you try and work so hard to fix it. You're a good guy. You want to help them out. Have you ever fixed anybody after 2 weeks? No, it
No, you
doesn't
can't
happen.
fix them, and
No.
that's huge too. Hiring the right people, and for the right positions too.
Yeah, absolutely.
And if they don't know, if you could train them, you know, I work with that. So as long as you have the right attitude, the right show up on time, be happy, be excited to be there, I'll work with you.
Johnny, Heroica Construction, one of the success stories of Rhode Island's construction industry. Couldn't launch at a worse time, has built the company up to 18 people. People don't understand how hard it was to work through 07, 08, 09, 10. If you can survive that, you can go handle a hurricane and an earthquake simultaneously. I want to thank you so much for coming on. We're going to be right back in a second, taking a quick break, and we'll see you right back.
Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody, to Business Monday. We're in the small biz focus. I've got Doris Blanchard with me, Josh Fenton. We're talking about small business and success challenges in Rhode Island. We just had Johnny on from Heroica Construction. Love that business, love his success. You work with companies. Every week we have, 1, 2, 3 guests on. I try and find out how you guys over at Commerce have screwed up in their assistance program. It never happens. Is that because of you, or is that because of somebody else? Talk a little bit about the approach and the customer service aspect.
Sure. So I'm gonna kind of like divide it into 3 different segments. So we have our client services team.
Yep.
My role is not there full time because I manage 2 other programs.
Yeah.
But basically, what happens is, through different sources, and we have different business partners, they reach out to Commerce. So once we establish the need, then we will meet with the client and we identify what their needs are.
So somebody sitting at home, is this the dating game for Rhode Island businesses, trying to connect companies that have needs with companies that have capabilities?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we provide them, an array of services. So whatever stage they are in, they can be startups.
Yeah.
They can be a mid-sized business that they need to grow. So we have, pretty much everything that our entrepreneurs in the state need at whatever level that they are.
Talk about it on the customer service side, which isn't your predominant responsibility. I think there's been a change at the department over the past decade, that it's much more customer focused and more proactively reaching out. You guys have done a good job telling the story about Infosys. Infosys came because there was somebody in the department who doggedly chased after them nonstop for months, trying to get a connection with them. So that's been a big success. You do hear the anecdotal of, I needed help with this and I couldn't connect with that. How do we overcome those challenges? How do we get better, faster at being able to connect people? And listen, some people you can't help, right? They're in distress at a level that that it's difficult to transform them.
Right.
But how do you make that process go faster?
So, and that is important that you mentioned that, because what is a key component that we identify is the follow-up on the client. So the client calls, they meet with one of our business advisors, we identify the needs, and then we need to follow up on it. Even like we provide them an array of services, like, do you take the class? How was the class? Mm-hmm. Do you participate in the Goldman Sachs program? How is that going? We go there and we make presentations to the participants, to the scholars of Goldman Sachs. That is one of the examples. We also, like tonight, I'm going to make a presentation in Pawtucket, the library, to this retail boot camp where they need information about how to access capital. So because I manage one of the programs, that Small Business Assistance Program, that has been very, very successful. We have 87 loans that we have closed. So there's a lot of that follow-up, a lot of that customer service to see how they're doing, to see what resources do they need, and pair them with the resources that we have in the state.
That's great. Supply Rhode Island, we touched on with Johnny a little bit about, we've got some big organizations, whether they're on the nonprofit side or the for-profit side, CVS's, Hasbro's, Textron's, Brown, RISD, even state purchasing. How do we do a better job, and I know you guys are working hard on this, connecting those to smaller businesses? And isn't part of it just education? Because a lot of small businesses say, Brown University, I can't even get through the phone number over there. They're never going to buy my X, Y, or Z's.
Yeah. So Supplier Right, it was another initiative, was launched last January. Very successful also. And the main mission of Supplier Right is to connect our small businesses in the state with the anchor institution. We call them the anchors of our buyers. Like you mentioned, they're the bigger corporations, the big corporations that they have a footprint in the state. They're not going anywhere.
Right.
But they need also an assistance from us to identify and to expand their portfolio of suppliers. So for example, you interview Johnny. Johnny is in the construction business, but maybe he needs a little push to have a connections with Citizens Bank, with RISD, with Brown. So we are working on that to make that meet and greet meeting. Maybe it will not happen right away, but he's cultivating that relationship. And I'm sure that, in the near future, he will have those projects. Actually, with RISD, it's already happening. So those successes will not happen if we will not make that connection. And so we have a process, we have a database, we onboard suppliers in the state, we identify them, how ready they are to respond to those proposals from our anchors. And we, so we have the education, we have the trainings in place where we work with our resource partners and we provide them with that assistance so they can be ready to respond to those opportunities.
And not that it's obviously not a mandated, it's a more of a partnership program, but is there a carrot and a stick involved in this? How do we make sure that big corporations pay attention to little Rhode Island, whether they're located here or not?
So I think it's a commitment.
Yeah.
It's a commitment that all the anchors, now that they are more, because we are doing a better job, we have our website up and running, we highlight our businesses, we have events, so like this coming April 8th is going to be a B2B.
Yeah.
Why? Because we assess our suppliers. They're asking to also connect within themselves, B2B interactions. And I think from the anchors, it's about the commitment that they have. They want to retain those small businesses in the state. They want to see them grow, and they want to, and they have referrals too. So like they check, hey, have you worked with this company? Recently may call, Brown University or Amica or Blue Cross Blue Shield, and they, because they can share, they have access to the database, so they know about the profile and the track record of that supplier.
Have you seen any big successes? Have you made any Chuck Woolery love connections that have had a profound effect on one of the major institutions being able to contract to a smaller business in Rhode Island? And if there's an example you can share.
Absolutely, yeah. So we track that because everything is about metrics, right?
Yeah.
We want to show results.
Yeah, we love metrics. We have a whole column now called the cheat sheet. It's all about metrics.
We want to. Yeah,
by the way, the one today, 50% of people in the workforce of the next 10, 15 years are going to be impacted by artificial intelligence. Neither one of us will be here in a few years. It'll be two robots talking to each other.
Yeah. So we have, I can give examples like RISD with Central Paper. So they retain Central Paper, and they expand the services
over on
that
Branch Ave.
Yeah. Central Paper. We also have ice cream, Warwick ice cream with the airport, with the airport.
Warwick,
now they are with the airport.
Excellent.
We have Johnny. We have catering also because we cover the food sector.
Great.
So there's a lot of caterers, and one in Providence, in Newport, with one of our business owners and marketing. So we have a lot of upcoming success stories. We keep track of our suppliers, how they're doing, and we provide them with the tools for them to grow.
If I'm watching right now, I'm a small business person, what do I do to get invited to the proverbial party and participate in the program?
Yeah, so they can go directly to our website. They can go to commercealright.com and then click Supply Right, or they can go directly to our website, supplyrhodeisland.com. And then they can onboard to the portal. We provide them with access, and then they can upload all the information. It's important that they have their capability statement. If they don't have a capability statement, we can provide them with a template how to put it together. We have workshops also, and the more information that we have in that profile, the better. So when we get a request from our anchors or our buyers, we have those suppliers ready to go.
That's great. Doris, thanks so much for coming on GoLocal Live, Small Biz Section.
Thank you for having me.
We're going to be back in about 35 minutes with Gary Sass, the Money Man, directly down from Bryant University, where he heads the Hassenfeld Institute up there. We'll be talking about federal budget, state budget. I think there's a new education commissioner coming to town. Lots of interesting things. Doris, thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Stay right here.
For having me.
We'll be back at 4 o'clock. Thanks so much.